Hi, my name is Sabrina Ahmed, and I'm going to be talking about cloud computing. So, do you remember when you were younger and you used to listen to the top hits of Hannah Montana or Demi Lovato or whatever you were into when you were little, but you didn't listen to music from your phone and in the car you listen to music from the radio, but you used to listen also from CDs and they were physical space that had a finite number of songs on it, and you used to listen to all those songs over and over again. And if you want to listen to new music, or if new music was released, you would have to buy a whole nother CD, and you just ended up with stacks and you had a full book. Well, that's kind of like hardware, and that is what cloud computing is changing. And we are trying to develop new ways to not have this finite problem. So cloud computing is changing how we service, store, and access our information. So before cloud computing, we saved everything on supercomputers. And supercomputers are the big hardware that there was like 50 of them in one room, or it's in a data center. So cloud computing is trying to change the way that we save our information, but also many other different things. It creates space and increases reliability. The company can offer technical services, and there are also recent developments in Kubernetes, which I will get to later. But okay, cloud computing developed due to space constrictions and reliability of physical hardware. So as I mentioned before, information is saved or was saved on supercomputers, and because it was physical hardware, natural disasters such as hurricanes or tornadoes would rip away all that information, and everything will be lost. All of your information will be lost, all your files and everything that you saved on these expensive computers will be gone unless you had them backed up in a whole different location that would not be affected by this natural disaster. So it is twice the size capacity for one file just to ensure its safety. So cloud computing is developed due to those reasons. So with cloud computing, if there's a natural disaster, your information is guaranteed to be saved because it's saved virtually. It's not on anything physical, so you're not going to lose any of your information. Also, with hardware or supercomputers, if you had one file that you wanted to save, but the supercomputer is filled, you would have to buy a whole nother supercomputer just to save one file. So it was also very pricey and not business ethically smart. So yes, cloud computing offers technical services virtually too. I think we all know how you can download Word or you can download like PowerPoint onto your computer. Well, cloud computing offers these services virtually. OneDrive is actually offering Word online and PowerPoint online, but also you've probably heard of Google Drive, and they offer like Google Sheets and Google Docs. So you work on those things virtually and you don't have to do it locally on your computer. So it makes it a lot easier to upload and collaborate with other people. Google Drive, not Google Drive, Google Cloud is also another thing that Google has. And on there, it's a single platform that a lot of engineers or just business and students use for working collaboratively and also creating new things. They offer a wide range of development software. So you can do gaming, you can do media, you can do entertainment, along with coding and other things like financial services and the public sector and everything. So they offer a wide variety of services. So there's something for everyone. And it's not even like Google created the Google Cloud for end users or other people. They also use it themselves, like Google Search, Gmail, and YouTube all use the Google Cloud to make their own technology. So yeah. And as I mentioned before, cloud computing is newest development is the release of the new version of Kubernetes. It was released in August 2020, and I I don't think I mentioned this before, but cloud computing is on demand and pay as you go. So this was actually stated on the Amazon website because they have Amazon Web Services or AWS. And since cloud computing is on demand and pay as you go, the space that I mentioned before, how you would have to have hardware, and if you wanted to download, if you wanted to save one more file, you would have to have one more supercomputer, like a full new supercomputer. So with pay as you go and on demand, you can just pay for one more file. You don't have to pay for a whole nother supercomputer. So it's very cost efficient on your business or you personally. So with Kubernetes, it is like, and you saving engineers work and working collaboratively. But the way that I'm going to explain it is through this analogy. So let's say you're packing your lunch, and on the left you can see it's just a lunchbox, plain lunchbox. So you made a sandwich, you have grapes and you have a water bottle, and you put it all in the lunch kit. Well, you made the sandwich first and it's smushed at the bottom now because the water bottle rolled all over it and the grapes are just open because it was rolling around in your backpack. Well, Kubernetes kind of is like the dividers in the lunch kit. So Kubernetes is an open source that automatically deploys, scales, and manages containerized applications. So as I mentioned that it scales, so it divides your information. So if you're uploading work and you have a bug or you have a virus and the whole application doesn't open anymore, it doesn't affect all the other things that you uploaded before that. So it doesn't affect the other objects or other parts of your program. So that is the newest development in Kubernetes, and this was the easiest way that I can explain it. And yeah, so cloud computing is developing new ways we enter, edit, and keep our information. Kubernetes is the scaling deployment. That project just came out in August, and on the Kubernetes website, it stated that it came from a need of change, and that's what cloud computing is. It's the need to make things more efficient. As I mentioned before, we listen to our music on vinyls, cassettes, CDs, MP3 players, and the reason for the change is a need for change and to make things more efficient and better. So how do you think that cloud computing is going to be different in the future? And also, do you think we're going to be listening to our music in a different way? Are we going to be listening to it through a chip in our brain that automatically gets uploaded new music? Or, I don't know, will we not have phones? So many different questions. But yeah, that is cloud computing. And if you have any questions, I'm in your class, so you can just ask.